Hey guys, what's up? This is White Vim here again. A long time no see, apparently, since the last video. Happy New Year to all of you, all my viewers, subscribers, and all that. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, Christmas, and whatever you celebrate. So today's topic is going to be one of my favorite things that happened to me over the Christmas break. Actually, what I created for the cosplay regions. I'm doing a lot more cosplay videos on this channel. Hopefully, I can do more. I'm really wanting to get back to Airsoft this year, as I did almost practically nothing last year for 2015. So I wanted to get back in the spirit of Airsoft this year, hopefully. So today's video is based again off of Accessory Syndicate, and one of the achievements that you do get in Accessory Syndicate for the Gauntlets wise is called the Chimera. You may know it as one of the more popular used gauntlets out there, right next to the Master Assassin or the Legendary Assassin's gauntlet. It's one of those. It's a very, very cool looking gauntlet, and it's very badass in my opinion. It's one of my favorites to use on the game. I just like the way it looks. So today's topic and tutorial is actually going to be based upon that. So the video I will show you is how to make your very own Chimera gauntlet. So let's get started. Let me do a little hit a blade. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's get started. So here are some of the basic components you'll be using throughout the process of making this Chimera gauntlet. So let's go on to seeing what there is. One of the most important pieces that you will need to make this Chimera gauntlet is actually the template. These are all paper templates, all folded in half, so you can get a duplicate replica on the other side. And this is the basic form of how to actually make the Chimera fit all together. It's a very weird concept gauntlet because I got all of these like images based off the in-game of look. I had to spend many hours, actually a lot of minutes and hours, actually trying to get the forms right of how the gauntlet is supposed to like all work and fit together. So the basics of that is what I kind of base upon. So you got your middle piece here, you got your left side of the gauntlet, and this part right here will just go over that side right there. And same thing with this side. This is the right side, the bigger side, and that piece will just go right over that piece. So that's basically how it all fits together. Next up, we have some half centimeter EVA foam, some craft foam, and some fake leather that you can buy at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or whatever. You need a ruler, some scissors, and some Gorilla Glue super glue gel with a green cap. That's pretty much how I know it, as a green cap super glue for Gorilla Glue. This is pretty much the best one that I use. It's pretty much the primary super glue that I ever use, and it works great. It's better than some of the other knockoff brands that they're out there. Lead pencil, you will need this, especially when we get to the Warbler. An X-Acto knife, and two types if you want more types of Sharpies, you can. This one helps, the black one helps with the EVA foam, as well as the craft foam. And this one is just for like marking your layers of pieces for your templates. Like you could choose a silver one. I chose a bronze or a gold, whatever matters. Just something you can see well out of. Two types of Google eyes. These are going to be used for like some of the buttons or like rivets on the gauntlet itself. So you got your small Google eyes, and you got your like larger Google eyes for the larger rivets or like parts on the gauntlet that you will need. A heat gun, and a heat gun is great because it helps both with the EVA foam, the craft foam, and also especially the Warbler. You will need that especially for the Warbler when we're going to. Some spray adhesive, some metal cutters. You don't really need to have this unless you want to use a Dremel, and that is because I'll show you a little bit later on. Some Rust-Oleum metallic finish bright coat. This is actually the best spray paint for using like for armor or anything of shiny metallic look. The Krylon metal silver colors aren't really that like shiny bright, and they don't really give off that really metallic glare, as you can well see on these parts right here. They do give off some like shine right there, but the Rust-Oleum metallic bright finish gives off that really shiny, bright, reflective coloring. So that's what I used really to get off that the really shiny look for the metal colors that I used. Some black Warbler. Now you can use regular Warbler if you wanted to, but I got this as a Christmas present because of professional cosplayers who use black Warbler, saying it's a little bit easier to use, it's not as sticky, it's not as difficult to use rather than the brown Warbler that most cosplayers are heavy on. And so I got this gigantic roll of black Warbler that it was difficult to use at first because I'm not really familiar with Warbler, so I had to watch a lot of tutorials and like how to work it and stuff. So it's a thermoplastic. Once you heat it, it becomes very malleable and flexible, and it's sticky. So it's a great tool to use, especially if you're a cosplayer and making these unbelievable like designs of what you can make with Warbler. So you can look up on Google or YouTube, whatever, for Warbler creations for cosplayers, and just like pretty amazing. Now here comes the most important piece of the Chimera Gauntlet tutorial build. These are all the finger ring pieces templates that I made. Excuse me again. I chose to make my own finger rings because I did not want to go out and buy someone like on eBay or Amazon, because A, they didn't look like the design that was originally in the game, and B, they may not be the right size that is pictured in the game, because there were specific size and length that there were in the game, so I had to make my own. As again, I made all these pieces myself, templated and folded so they can be the same on both sides. I have the thumb pieces and all the four fingers again. I got the main buckle piece right here, the main knuckle piece right here. I have second tier right here. It goes over your, well, I don't know if I'm in frame. Sorry if I'm not in frame. And third tier, which is going to be like the top of your index finger right there. And this top piece right here, which is basically the same design of this portion here, it's just going to be overlapping the top piece right here, kind of like a shield kind of barrier. I'm not sure what to call it though, but that's how it is pictured in the game. The thumb did not have one. That's because it's one of the bigger pieces, and you wouldn't really need to detail all that. But that's basically all the components you will need. Let's get into actually kind of how you would make it. So let's get started. So once you have your templates that you made for your main gauntlet section, you want to go ahead and trace them out on your craft foam, and then take your spray adhesive and your fake leather. Go ahead and basically the same process that I did of making the first original gauntlet was basically you spray adhesive the leather and basically just plant it on your template cutout that you had. That'll give you the basic form and forms for making the overall form for the gauntlet itself. Thing you do want to know is measuring your arm width and length, and give it the right size and depth that it needs to have that your good. I know, putting your arm through it. I'm very difficult at explaining things, so I do apologize again in advance if this video does get a little bit long, as most of my videos do that. So repeat this process for the other templates that you did cut out, like the outer pieces and so on and so forth. You cut out your using your EVA foam again, like that. Like I said, this will be going for your top piece right here. Again, I did use the Rust-Oleum, metallic look for it. Let's see. Next up would be, I would say actually the Berserk cannon here. Now this is where the pliers, the metal cutters, would be in. Now this is not a homemade piece as of how I made this one right here. This actually came off one of the extra, replica pieces right here. So basically what I did was I took the spare replica gauntlet I had and basically cut out the berserk cannon right here. You can use a Dremel if you want to. I did at first, but then I realized that this cuts way better through this rubbery plastic, but you will need a Dremel to carve down the excess thickness at the bottom of the berserk cannon, just to help with leveling out the berserk cannon on your piece there on the front piece. Also, for the bottom piece, I used the same gauntlet I did in the first review I had. Unlike this one right here, I took it off of one of the extras that I had and put it on my homemade one. I ended up using this one because I had another one spare in stock. I didn't want to buy another replica gauntlet just to use the hidden blade, so I took that. I did use the grapple hook section and use that for that section, and that's pretty much what I used to replicate that instead of making a whole nother grapple hook. I didn't want to do that again, so I just kind of went lazy and used this one. It works great, and it looks a lot better as it being that whole piece, though. I wish the hidden blade was still this, and rather than the phantom blade that I used before, so it's a bit like really skinnier. It doesn't look as menacing with this like little skinny hidden blade with this great cool looking armor, knight armor thing there. So that's pretty much it. Now on to your Warbler pieces. So Warbler is, like I said before, is a thermoplastic. It's very flexible. As you can see, you got a rougher side at first, and then on the bottom you got a shiny side, which is the gluey side. Now using your craft foam, you want to measure out some pieces, some longer pieces like these, just because I started on the straps first, and then I started on the straps, measure them out, and look how well they go over the gauntlet itself and the hidden blade. Just use as much as the in-game reference as possible to make this this gauntlet yourself. That's basically what I did. I didn't look on anyone else's profiles or cosplay videos because no one else has done the Chimera gauntlet until me. So that's basically what I did. So the buckles, the straps again are made of Warbler sandwiches, which is basically you're taking a strap of your craft foam and taking 2 layers of your Warbler, same exact size, just a little bit cut off. And when you do that, you're gonna have your heat gun, heat that up, take your one side of your craft foam, stick that on the gluey side, and take the other piece that you had, the duplicate piece of your Warbler, and just kind of sandwich that on top. Make sure it's nice and creased down. Once you cut it, it should the seams actually, the sides actually should be nice and flush with the other side, and you shouldn't have any exposing Warbler pieces, so it should be nice and flush with your existing sandwich piece. So it's a lot like what these buckles look like. So the sides are nice and flush, and they're not any gaps or anything. So that's how I made the straps here. The buckles are actually kind of rolled up pieces of Warbler. So good to have to save your Warbler pieces when you do cut them out, because using the heat gun, you can heat them up, roll them up, squish them up, and actually form whatever you want. So that's basically what I did with the buckles. I actually could have used sandwiches for this, but I decided to make my own out of just bunched up pieces of Warbler and just made the buckles. These top buckles right here are made of sandwich pieces as well, and just kind of glued them up there. They may be kind of actually large, but they look the profile, so I did my best to actually replicate those types of buckles. And all the rest are just kind of the straps are kind of hidden underneath the entire gauntlet, so that's where these extra pieces came from. I didn't use them because I didn't need them. Let's see, other pieces. Oh, here comes where the buttons come in for your rivets. Actually, these are actually the larger Google eyes that I made, and those were the pieces that go on to the siding, the right side of your gauntlet there. Now on to my favorite piece of this entire gauntlet itself are the finger rings. Now these are actual working articulating-ish finger rings I did make myself for this. I was originally going to have them glued on to the Gauntlet, but that didn't look as... The way I set them up, it was a limited actually kind of movement and of the placing of the rings, and it would be kind of difficult to take the glove on and off without harming the actual rings themselves. So I actually made them actual rings. All of them are good and articulating, I guess, ish. I did them very crudely. The finger rings are made of warbler, black warbler, like this, like I said. They are all made from the templates that I did use. So these are actually the most difficult pieces to make because they are a lot of them, as you see. So basically, taking your existing templates that you did make for your finger pieces, the same process, but I did only use one sheet of the warbler, and cutting them out, heating them up, forming them, and getting them to the shape I desired, and having a lot of time actually fitting them over the ring. That's actually real. I'll give you an example. Fitting them over my the finger that I had to actually get the form correct and the way it looks in game and how I wanted them to look. So that was a big pain in the butt to actually get down and correct. They're all the same size, which is not correct, which you shouldn't do because they should be like getting each figure should get smaller, but I went the lazy route and made them all duplicate pairs. Like I said before, the only glued down piece is the thumb piece because it did kind of, this part actually kind of lifted up of the thumb, and I wanted that to stay down. The only piece I wanted to stay. All the rest of the pieces can be taken off. The knuckles do kind of lift off, and they're not glued down to the actual knuckle base because I wanted to have a lot of movement. You don't get much movement, although you can't make a full fist out of them because of the way they're so bulky. But that's one thing you will have to get over with when having these. And here it is on my actual hand. Trying to get a better look at it right here. The most difficult part of actually connecting the pieces so they can actually articulate good, I had to use paper clips to use for the connectors. I used my Dremel and drilled tiny little holes in each of the of sidings where I would mark with a marker, a Sharpie, and to see where a placement of the actually articulated parts are there. And so that was pretty much the more difficult part of actually making these finger rings work. I'm pretty sure you could do a whole lot better with actual rivets, finger ring rivets that you can buy somewhere else. But I chose the simple, ugly way of using paper clips to make articulated finger rings. But they do a really good job of somewhat doing articulated movements. I don't want to bend them too much because I do not want them to actually come out of their little socket holes. But I did bend them with some pliers, so they should be in there nice and tight. Unless I do something drastic and try to grab onto a building, which would be stupid because you can't really grip anything with this that much. And like I said, the thumb is kind of glued down, super glued down to my glove because I will not be kind of using that much. And again, there's a lot of gap between the actual knuckles and the finger rings because of the way they look. That's pretty much it for that. I want to give you a bigger overall look of it. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I do very much apologize if it wasn't up to par with some of the other people who do actual tutorials and do audio commentary. I'm very bad at doing tutorials because I just got a new camera. Maybe in the future I can actually do an actual tutorial on how to actually do step by step. When I do it very sloppy and it's not actually professional, so that's why I really don't do tutorials, because I think people will think this dude does it really half-assed and lazy and just looks like pure crap. But that's what I'm kind of scared of doing tutorials, that you guys won't like it as much and won't actually follow through how other people can do it, and how this person can do it much better than I can. So that's why I'm kind of worried about doing tutorials. Again, like I said, but I do hope you liked the actual outcome of the gauntlet that I did make. I took a very long time to make this. It took about a good week and a half maybe, because I had to wait a while until Christmas to actually get the the Warbler. I did make already all the gauntlet, the main portion of the gauntlet pre-hand. So I just had to wait for the Warbler. But that's about it. Yeah, so that's about it. I do hope, again, 2016... I can barely make a thumb. 2016, yeah, I can't wait for that. So hopefully I will make a airsoft video of my next upcoming events, which is going to be in mid-January, January the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And it's going to be in Tabor City, Wilmington, North Carolina. Tabor City, North Myrtle Beach. It's called Operation Fragile Sovereignty, and this is going to be at Adventure Beach Airsoft. It's a 3-day event. Big milsim event, so it should be very, very fun. It's gonna be like helicopters, tanks, technicals, whatnot. So it should be a very, very good time. I have a lot of friends gonna be there, so it should be a really good time. I'm gonna record it on my my helmet, so you know, an in-depth game reviews about that. So hopefully that'll be up in when it does happen in January. So I'm looking forward to that. Really, really looking forward to that. Con wise. There's a lot of cons that are going to be that may be canceled this year. I don't know why they're skipping a year, and but I do want to really go to a lot more cons this year, and especially in North Carolina. But who knows? But yeah. Then again, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I just love this thing to death. Anyway, yeah. Thank you again, guys. Comment, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment. I'll try to do my very best I can to respond in the very best technical way I can, cosplay-wise. I'm not very good at this. Yeah. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope you like. And this is White Venom. Signing out.